Welcome to Cheap Irish Homes Social Media Chat, episode 6. So it's the last one, folks. So Maggie and I were in West County Clare along the beautiful Irish coastline, and of course Nick and Steph were tuning into us on Zoom because of the social distancing. So let's get straight into it. The first house we looked at was a beautiful house in Doombeg. So a little bit back from the coast, but what a house. I mean, I saw the outside and it had been rendered over the old stone, so I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, I thought when you look down and you look at the aerial views, there was a beautiful layout. So you had the outside of the house, so you had the house and you had all the stone outhouses. So there was a lovely kind of courtyard effect. But when we walked into the house, I was completely blown away by the living space, the old crane and the kettle and the pot hanging from it. I mean, I remember learning about those kind of things in primary school history books, and I'd never seen them. I'd seen photographs, and I was really blown away to think of the Irish life of our ancestors in these houses. It was a very special moment looking at the old floor and the flagstones. I mean, there was beautiful old craftsmanship there. The old dresser built in the late 1800s. You can't buy this anymore. So I think for buying that house, you really have to buy into the beautiful old style and change as little as you possibly can. I think the good thing about Nick and Steph was they're the kind of couple, again, no, I haven't met them, but I got the impression they were the kind of couple who really bought into that, and I think that's why they're on the show. We had a look at the outhouses. They were beautiful as well, and quite good condition. And like outhouses like that give you so many options. They could be for storing animals. They could be for an outhouse for like cottage industry, or of course just any general recreation and storage. I know Nick and Steph have a lot of kind of outdoor pursuits, so like storing surfboards and kayaks and that kind of thing. So great potential there. The next house, of course, is in Kilkee, a little bit closer to the coast, and of course that's something that's very close to Nick and Steph's heart. The house, I felt, suffered from some level of subsidence. There was certainly a lot of cracking on one corner on the right hand side as you look at the front of the house, and cracking like that is a sign of subsidence, and subsidence is usually drain related. Not always. Sometimes the ground just wasn't great day one, but it's usually drain related. So I was concerned about that. It is fixable. I mean, and most things are fixable in houses. Just how much you're going to spend. If you have subsidence in a house that you've owned for several years, your insurance may cover this, although insurance companies are getting a lot tighter on this. But if you buy a new house and it has subsidence, you're going to have to pay for it to be done. There were, of course, when we got into the inside, I mean, I suppose the big shock factor in that house was the loo and to be honest, the state of it inside. To be honest, something like a Parazone and maybe a power hose and a good pair of gloves would go a long way. But like the wear, I mean, there's a few €100 worth of wear there. The greater issue is you need to look what's behind the scenes, the plumbing and the sewer that's hooking up the wear. So they're more important really than the wear, although realistically you could save the wear. There were outhouses involved here as well, and Maggie had a good idea, maybe incorporate the outhouses into the house, but of course that would require planning permission because you're going to change the use of the outhouses. But again, the outhouse had a lovely view of the distant the sea, so certainly something that Nick and Steph could very well be very interested in. And the last house, of course, was Carrigaholt. I suppose the main thing about this house is it was quite symmetrical, so the front and back looked quite alike, and the current front was facing south and facing to the sea. So and that there was a kind of some level of a driveway heading into the front of the house. But I felt the driveway would be much better at the back of the house, so literally flip the house so that the driveway going to the back and use the back as the front and the other way around. Because now you're carving out a lovely south-facing rear garden, well, south and west-facing rear garden, which had views out over the sea. It also made it much more intuitive, I felt. Now, it would require planning permission, but there's a level of precedent for this already in the area, so I think you have a good chance there. Again, something you could talk to a planner about as well if you're thinking of buying the house. And a nice old vernacular-styled house. Going into one of the bedrooms, we saw some of the stone removed. I love stone inside a building. No, I don't think you'd have it everywhere because it'd be quite dark, and you certainly want to seal it from dust, so you could use something like a polybond or something to seal it, so it would seal it, but you wouldn't really see it. So I think that house had a lot of potential, but it needed a bit of work just to kind of release the value there. So this is our last episode. we haven't heard about a second season yet. We're hopeful. I'd love to know what you thought of Cheap Irish Homes. Did you get something out of it? I hope it brought something new to the RTE audience, and I hope Maggie and I have shone a little bit of a light on what you can do with these beautiful Irish cottages. And you can drive serious value there. You do have to roll up your sleeves, and there's a bit of hard work and a bit of imagination. But look, there, you could have some wonderful results. So what did you think of Cheap Irish Homes? Let us know, and would you like to see a season 2? So I'll be back to my regular normal house building videos very soon. So see you then.